I'm Kamerie Gibson. Welcome to the Kamerie Gibson Show, the podcast. I believe that one of the most precious gifts you can share with someone is your story. Pain has purpose and stories can change lives. Your journey to become more inspired and transformed by the lives of those around us starts now.
So moving away from the college life and your experience there, going back to childhood, what was it like for you growing up in LA?
It was it was interesting. Just because I was growing up, I really looked up to my dad a lot. He was, if anything, he was like my Superman, so I wanted to do all the stuff like that he did. So then when I found out like he played football and stuff for Jefferson High School and everything, that's what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to play football and things like that. On my dad's side, I have a really big family, so have a lot of cousins. I lived with a lot of cousins on the east side of Los Angeles, and it was like it was kind of one of those things where I was kind of forced to grow up quick because like the age gap between a lot of us is very, very big. Like I'm 26 right now, turning 27 in August, but my oldest first cousin, I believe, is like maybe like 50 something, I think, or 40 something. So I'm like, it's like 20-year difference or something like that. But they all teach me, well, they all have taught me a lot of things. And then with my mom, I learned a lot over there too. It was, but they were completely different. Like it was completely different learning things and learning curves that I had to get acquainted to and that I had to adjust to. So,
What would you say made your experience unique um, growing up in LA? Everybody got their own LA story. And, my dad often talks about, being from LA, everybody feels like they have to prove how real they are, how LA they really are. What was it like for you?
um, for me, it was kind of interesting for me because my dad, he kind of made it adamant that he didn't really want me to go to school like deep in LA like that for whatever reason. I didn't know why, but especially like on the east side, he didn't want me to go to school. Like he didn't want me to go to Jefferson, or he didn't want me to go to like Audubon or anything like that for whatever reason. I don't know why. He just didn't. Because that's where, I mean, we grew up over there. I grew up over there. So, and my mom, my mom isn't from LA neither. My mom is from Ohio. So in terms of school, she was just focused really on like who had like the best academics and stuff. And my dad was focused on that too, but he wanted me to get a good place in regards to sports as well. So growing up, like I went to elementary school in Long Beach. Then I ended up having to go to middle school in Torrance, it was all right. It forced me to like, meet new people, not just, black people, but new people. And then playing football, I was playing football and sports with all types of people in different cities. Like I played football in Lakewood, and you know, I played basketball in LA though. But yeah, it's plenty of things.
What was it like having both of your parents? I mean, growing up in an environment like South Central, I'm sure a lot of your friends, I don't know, they didn't have their father, and then maybe having a mother. What was it like for you?
for me, it was I look at it as I was one of the lucky ones to have both of them. It was just unfortunate for me also, because at the time where I would go to school, where everybody has both of their parents already. So they're accustomed to it, and they're both in the same house, in the same household. Like my two parents, yeah, they're in my life, they're co-parenting, but one is all the way on the east side in LA and the other one is like in Bellflower. And I see each one every week. So I switch off every week, you feel me? So as a kid, growing up, I'm just thinking like, this is just normal. And it's like, it is what it is. It's just normal. But, you start to hear different things and realize like, oh, this isn't like the norm. Like people don't, y'all don't live like this or whatever. I go to certain kids' houses, you just see like that happy family vibe or whatever, family picture up and stuff. And I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have one of those. Why not? But, it's actually really crazy. I really didn't get like a real like family like portrait like that until I got older. I have a cousin's portrait when I was young. Like it's all of me and my first cousins. But I might have been like 4 when I took that. So I got that, but I mean, other than that, yeah, it was just different, but I appreciated it though.
Yeah, definitely unique. But what about that family dynamic? Do you still crave for? Like, what was it that you felt like you were missing? Want to create now for yourself?
Um, I felt like in a sense, I felt like I was missing, like a sense of togetherness. Um, like I never questioned whether my parents loved me or not. I never questioned that, but I would question sometimes like certain motives behind some of the things that they did. And I'd also question like if I was to say, well, my mom told me to do this, this, and this to my dad, and my dad, like, let's just say, for instance, if he didn't like it at the time or whatever, I'm a very observant person, so I could see like, he didn't like it. He probably wouldn't say nothing, or if he would say something, he would like call my mom and tell her. And that's kind of like one of those things, like as a kid, when you're growing up, it's like, damn, I got to constantly hear like this, just back and forth bickering for no reason, like, between them. For the majority of the time, though, like they figured it out, which I can appreciate, but there were points in time where I was like, yeah, nah, I don't like, I can't stand all this arguing by y'all. I really can't.
Oh my gosh, you bringing that up. I totally forgot. My parents, being the oldest, they made me the mediator a lot. And I told them like how unhealthy it was for a child to be a mediator because you hear stuff that it's like, I don't need to know this about you. My dad is cussing my mama out. My mama's cussing my daddy out. And I'm like, you want me to relay what you said to them? Okay, so I'm gonna do it. And I think it definitely makes you grow up faster. But it also like, I know when I got older, I didn't have that much respect for my parents because of what I felt like put me through. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, y'all want me to respect you now, but y'all made me grow up at a young age by putting me in y'all's relationship bush. And I've called them out for that, but I can definitely see how that can like affect a child's ability to just be a child and like just have nothing to do with that. But moving
Yeah.
on, what has been one of the most difficult challenges you've had to overcome up until this point?
My my epilepsy by far. Um, and it's before I had epilepsy, I had felt like I felt, like just like a normal person, just regular. And I didn't get diagnosed with epilepsy until 2015. I had my first seizure like a week, like a week and a half before I graduated high school. In the middle of taking a final. So like having that, and then going from 2015 and it's 2023 and I still have it, when I had been told multiple times, like, yeah, it'll subside, it'll subside, or it'll go away. You just have to do this, or you just have to do that, or you just have to do this and you have to do that, or just taking constant numbers of pills and consistent, like, different medication and things of that nature. And then different, like, hospital visits when I really didn't have to go, because like they would go and they would try to do like x-rays or MRIs on my brain, but there's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's nothing that they can see that's wrong with my brain that would, like, basically make the seizures come about. So even doctors were confused. Like, I've had, I want to say, like 3 neurologists. And it's like let me start by saying this. They've all done, the best that they could do. I know that for a fact. And I've liked all of them, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I mean, sometimes as the person that has it gets old, especially like switching me from medication to medication. And then, like, one of the medications that I had, it like put me in the side effect of it was that it put me in a depressive state. So like, it would be times where, like, if I didn't take it, or if I just like forgot to take it or whatever, it might be times where I would just like I wouldn't want to do nothing. I wouldn't want to get up, wouldn't want to move, wouldn't want to go anywhere. Like, I would feel depressed for real. And that's, I mean, and that's actually like a side effect for real. So it gets old, but that's another reason why, like, I forced myself to live out what I preach to other people in terms of like mental health and mental performance, mental skills, just things like that. Having a positive outlook on your life and just everything in general, and just kind of saying to yourself, like, everything is going to be okay, is, that's very, very important. Not just saying it, but actually believing in it.
Well, you definitely have been like the sun. Up until this point of getting to know you, definitely give me motivator, energy. But I think it's special that you have your own challenges to go through, and yet you want to give back to other people. What has been like the biggest motivator for you in your pursuit of mental health advocacy?
My biggest motivator, I would probably say, is the people around me. But yeah, the close people, like the people that are around me that are actually doing, like, doing things for themselves, making positive moves, actually, like, trying to move forward, not just move in place, because there's a difference between, like, consistently moving and then persistently moving. Like, if you're going to move consistently, you can move consistently, but just be moving in the same place. But if you're, being persistent at everything, trying to push forward and move forward. I look at, one of my friends, Jeremy, rap neo soul artist. His name is Vet. He motivates me all the time. Each and every time I go to one of his shows, or I see a show, or he tells me he got something like that, like motivates me, because it's like, okay, he doing all this, he's like working hard towards it. I have to do my thing. I got to. A few of my other friends, like one of my other friends makes beats. Actually, two of my other friends, like they make beats and stuff like that. Like just when one of my friends, when he sends in beats to our group chat and I see it, I'm like, okay, I know exactly where he at. I know where he's at. So what am I like, what am I going to do? What am I supposed to be doing? Okay, Chan, how are you going to figure out how to be better than you were yesterday or like a few hours ago? Just, seeing different things from people that I admire and that are close to me, that motivates me to just be better.
That's a real answer. Um, with the upbringing you had, all that you've been through, what have you learned about love thus far? Love as
Uh,
a whole, like in its entirety.
yeah. Um, I learned that love is a word that's overused. Um, but I also learned that love is something that I believe to be a beautiful thing when it's actually like meant in its entirety. Um, I feel like when you really and truly love someone, whether if you're in a relationship with them or if it's friendship or whatever it is, like parenting or whatever, regardless of what they're going through, you're always going to be there for them, and you're always going to seek out the best for that person that you love, and you're always going to make the best decision that you can to help out that person or to give that person any form of advice, just to make sure that that person is in the best mind state and best physical state and just best position possible. um I believe regardless of if you guys may have disagreements, may fall out or anything, I believe if you truly love someone, you're gonna still treat them the same way regardless of what happened, like in spite of all of the stuff that occurred. Like if you guys really really are true friends, and y'all have love for each other, like, and it's you guys have been friends for a minute now too, there's ways for y'all to work it out and get by. Like I've lost way too many people in my life due to just death and things of that nature for me to hate. I feel like I don't have any hate in my heart anymore. I used to. I don't though. I feel like it takes too much energy to hate somebody, and yeah, it takes too much energy to hate. So
It really does. And look, you just talked about love and like love out, no exceptions, no matter what has happened. And I thought about like love for self too. Like regardless of what I've done, like no, regardless of what I've been through, I still have to love myself. Like
exactly,
I deserve that too. But I just thought about that when you were talking about love.
yeah,
Because sometimes I'm like, as amazing as people would tell me I am, I'm like, but I don't see that for myself, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna continue to do things lower than
yeah.
myself. Um, but yeah, man. Okay. What would you tell the younger Chandler?
I would tell him a lot, but I would tell him regardless of what happens down the line, understand and know that you're going to be put in certain situations for a reason. And the reason why you're put in those situations is because God believes that you are a fighter, and you just got to live up to that. You're going to have to. Like, he picks the ones that he feels is the strongest to go through the most stuff. And I mean, nobody could have predicted me having epilepsy at all, because I wasn't born with it. My parents didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming at all. So, and even when I had my first one, like I almost went a whole year without having another one. But just, that situation, and then just other things that I've gone through in the past too, I would tell the younger Chandler, like, be prepared for life, but don't allow the situations that come about to, make you regret life or make you want to check out of life early. Don't let that happen, because you'll be doing not only yourself, but the others you impact a disservice.
Ooh, really, 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 really good. You're like a natural speaker. Like it just flows out of you so perfectly. So like smoothly. I don't know if anybody has ever said it before.
Nah, but thank you.
Yeah, plane was going by. But okay, we're almost done. What do you hope to accomplish? What do you hope to accomplish before you leave this earth?
What do I hope to accomplish? Well, let me just not hopes. I'm gonna just put it as things that will happen in due time. In due time, my business with my business partner, uh, we're going to have the best mental performance coaching business on the planet. It's called Genesis. So you heard it here first. It's called Genesis. But not only that, I'm going to be one of the most heralded and most popular mental performance coaches on the planet. I want to give back not only to my community, but I want to be able to own land and be able to turn it into like a spot where it's like, think of like Koreatown, but like, for us though, like Black people, but we keep it to where everything is like, Black owned. And we learn how to keep up with it. We don't allow things to come in and kind of like make the property go down or anything like that. We don't want anything coming in and like, being like a cancer to our community with that. So I would love to buy a lot of property and a lot of land just so we could, have that true, like, whatever we would want to call it, whether if it's not, like how Chinatown has Chinatown and there's Koreatown, like whatever we would want to call it. But I believe having something like that, especially like here in California and LA, really, that would be very powerful and ideal. And I think it would make a difference in the inner city of Los Angeles for real. But, we gotta figure out where to start at. So
Yeah, we got to be careful because Black Wall Street. We had things like, but this outside Indians coming in and like
yeah,
destroy our stuff. So there's also that military power that we have to like really think about and protecting anything that we build.
exactly.
But last question for you, Chandler. You've been a great guest. I've learned so much, and you just inspired me just hearing you talk. Um, what do you hope to see more of in the world?
Peace, but not the peace that I'm pretty sure everybody would probably think of, like, oh, we will come together and we'll just be peaceful. Like, no. Peace, when I mean by that, I mean like everyone is able to reach their like inner peace and inner being within themselves. So they finally find that like that balance within themselves. And I honestly believe that if more and more people are able to find that balance and find that true peace that they could be looking for themselves, the world would be a lot better. Yeah, just finding inner peace and just finding a way to be, at one with yourself. Actually, be okay with whatever flaws you may have. You're at peace though. Like you're at peace with it. This is how you were made. This is how you were born. This is what you grew up to be, and you're at peace with it. And so that leaves you in a mindset of, okay, this is how I am right now. What can I do to be better next week, next month, and as it progresses until it's that time for us to leave this earth and go on to another place.